Seoul, South Korea. The night sky hung quietly above the city. The BTS dorm looked as it always did. The living room lights were dim, and the soft sound of the television echoed from the corner. Jimin sat casually on the sofa, scrolling through his phone, occasionally smiling at army comments. He didn't know that night would become one of the most surprising nights of his life. It all began with a small conversation he overheard by accident. JUNGKOOK had just returned from practice. A black hoodie covered his head, his mask hanging from one ear. He looked slightly tired, but something was different. His expression was too calm, as if he was hiding a big secret. Taeyoung, who was sitting at the dining table, suddenly joked, "Hey, JUNGKOOK, don't tell me you went to that place again." JUNGKOOK stopped walking, just for a fraction of a second, but it was enough for Jimin to notice. "What place?" Jimin asked instinctively. Taeyoung froze. Nothing, just kidding." But Jimin wasn't someone who let things slide easily. He looked at JUNGKOOK suspiciously. "JUNGKOOK." Jimin's voice turned serious. "Where were you?" JUNGKOOK slowly removed his mask and let out a long sigh. "I just went out for a bit." "Went out where?" Jimin stepped closer. Silence. A few seconds that felt like long minutes. Finally, JUNGKOOK spoke softly. "I once went to Lisa's house." The sentence fell like lightning in the room. "What?" Jimin almost jumped up from the sofa. "To Lisa's house?" "When?" Taeyoung covered his face, as if he had known this moment would come sooner or later. "A while ago," JUNGKOOK answered calmly. "I went quietly, without telling anyone." Jimin stared at him in disbelief. "You went to her house? Alone? Without us knowing? Without a manager?" JUNGKOOK nodded slowly. The atmosphere suddenly grew heavy. Flashback, that secret night. Several months earlier, JUNGKOOK stood in front of a modern white minimalist house in a quiet area of Seoul. The porch light glowed warmly. He was dressed entirely in black, cap and mask on. No bodyguards, no staff. He took a deep breath before pressing the doorbell. The door slowly opened. Lisa appeared in a cream sweater, her hair loose. Her face showed surprise before forming a small smile. "You really came," she said softly. "I promised, didn't I?" JUNGKOOK replied gently. He quickly stepped inside before any neighbors could see. The door closed. The living room felt warm and cozy. The scent of jasmine tea filled the air. They sat across from each other. Awkward at first, but soon the conversation flowed naturally. Lisa laughed when JUNGKOOK shared a funny story about exhausting practice. JUNGKOOK grew quiet for a moment when Lisa talked about feeling lonely, being far from her family in Thailand. That night, there were no cameras, no stage, no spotlight, just two people sharing honest conversations. When the clock neared midnight, JUNGKOOK stood up. "I should leave before it gets too late." Lisa nodded. "Be careful." Before leaving, JUNGKOOK paused by the door. "I'm glad I came," he said sincerely. Lisa smiled softly. "Me too." And that night ended as a secret. Back to the BTS dorm. Jimin was still processing everything. "Do you realize how risky that was?" His voice was a mix of worry and frustration. What if there were paparazzi? What if fans found out? JUNGKOOK looked at Jimin seriously. "I know the risks." "Then why still go?" JUNGKOOK's answer was simple. "Because I wanted to." Silence again. Taeyoung added softly. "He's not reckless, Jimin. He thought it through." Jimin sighed and sat back down. "I'm not angry. I'm just shocked. You didn't tell us anything." "I wasn't ready to tell you then," JUNGKOOK said. "And now, I just don't want you to hear it from someone else." That line eased the tension a little. Jimin finally laughed in disbelief. "Our magne is secretly romantic too, huh?" "Hyung," JUNGKOOK shook his head shyly. Taeyoung laughed. "You're the most dramatic one here, Jimin." "Of course. This isn't a small thing." Jimin shot back, but moments later, his expression softened. "Were you happy that night?" JUNGKOOK didn't answer immediately, but his smile said enough. "Yes." Jimin looked at him and smiled too. "In that case, next time at least tell me. I can create a distraction if needed." JUNGKOOK laughed. "Deal." The days after, The secret was no longer completely hidden among them, though still tightly guarded from the public. Something subtly changed within the group. Jimin often teased JUNGKOOK whenever he saw him smiling at his phone. "Who's texting you?" "Hyung." Taehyung would just laugh at their small arguments. Behind the jokes, though, was protection, because they knew the outside world was too loud. One night, Jimin and JUNGKOOK sat together on the dorm balcony. "Listen," Jimin said quietly. "Whatever happens, make sure you stay the JUNGKOOK we know. Don't let pressure change you." JUNGKOOK nodded. "I won't run from anyone, Hyung, but I won't hide from my feelings either." Jimin smiled faintly. "You really have grown up." The night breeze blew gently. Seoul glittered in the distance. The secret might be dangerous if exposed. But among them, it proved one thing. Behind the stage lights and millions of spotlights, they were still human beings who wanted closeness, who wanted to be understood. And the night Jimin found out about that secret visit wasn't the beginning of conflict. Weeks later, weeks after the confession, the dorm atmosphere seemed normal. Their schedules were packed as always. Practice, meetings, recording sessions, filming ads. But to Jimin, something felt different. He noticed small things. JUNGKOOK smiling more often, holding his phone late at night, standing on the balcony for long calls. At first, Jimin only teased him, but one afternoon, everything almost turned into a serious issue. Incident at the practice studio. They were rehearsing choreography for a special performance. The music blasted loudly. Everyone was exhausted. During a break, JUNGKOOK sat in the corner, opening his phone. That same smile appeared again. Jimin, drinking water nearby, noticed. Suddenly, "Hyung, look at this, it's so funny." JUNGKOOK absentmindedly tilted his phone toward Jimin. It was a photo, not a public photo. A candid one. Lisa sitting in a familiar white living room. The same one JUNGKOOK had described. Her hair half tied, smiling at the camera. Jimin froze. "Did you take this?" JUNGKOOK realized what he'd done and quickly turned off the screen. "Yes." Jimin swallowed. What if you lose your phone? It wasn't a threat. It was reality. Their world wasn't ordinary. One image could become global headlines. Taehyung approached, sensing the tension. "You two look serious." "Our magne is too brave," Jimin said quickly. Taehyung looked at JUNGKOOK and smiled slightly. "Being brave is good, but you have to be smart." JUNGKOOK nodded. "I know." But in his heart, he knew. His feelings were growing beyond just secret visits. A midnight message. That night, after everyone slept, JUNGKOOK received a message. "Lisa, tired today? You looked exhausted in the practice video Taehyung sent." JUNGKOOK smiled. "Tired, but not too bad. You?" Her reply came quickly. "I miss home, and I miss talking to you in person. My house feels lonely lately." JUNGKOOK stared at the message for a long time. His heart beat faster. He wanted to go again, to stand in front of that white door once more. But this time, the risk felt greater. Jimin realizes. The next morning, Jimin found JUNGKOOK in the kitchen, staring blankly at his coffee. "You're going there again, aren't you?" Jimin asked suddenly. JUNGKOOK flinched. "Hyung, I can see it on your face." Silence. "I just don't want her to feel alone," JUNGKOOK answered honestly. Jimin smiled softly. "You've always been like that. When you care completely." He patted JUNGKOOK's shoulder. "But this time, we need to be more careful." "We?" JUNGKOOK raised an eyebrow. Jimin nodded. "If you go, I'll help. Not to hide something, but to keep you safe." JUNGKOOK looked at him gratefully. "Why are you helping me?" Jimin smiled. "Because you're family. And if you're happy, we're at peace too."